How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of 750 side-by-sideness. Glutton for punishment right here in the form of Southern Swells. It's their Northern Roots. This is their Bourbon Barrel-Aged Based Imperial Stout. It is a 10.9% Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout base blend. And then over here, we have the Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout Toasted Walnuts and Vanilla Bean blend. Both 10.9%. Courtesy of my boy Carson. When these go up, you'll actually see two videos go up. You'll see this side by side go up, and you'll see an individual one go up. That will be the coffee variant of this. I did that one separate because I did a little kind of experiment with the coffee. And let's put it this way: if these even are as close to good as that one, I am in for a treat. I don't remember the last time I did dueling 750s. Yeah, it's been right. I know Kyle from Brooklyn sent me a bunch of other half stouts, but I thought those were like 5 mils, right? They weren't 750s, I don't think. Anyway, let's just dive into it. So, yeah, do we have story time? Yeah, it says every year we have a pleasure of selecting our favorite Imperial Stout barrels to create Northern Roots blend. This year we selected from Willet from 4 Willet, 1 Jack Daniels, and 1 Jim Beam, all blended to create a deliciously smooth, thick, and decadent Imperial Stout. I think it says the exact same thing over here. It does. So really the difference is basically the titles on there. So, oh man, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Yeah. So let's see what we got going on here. Like I said, the coffee variant on this was just ridiculous. So I'm kind of curious to see how these non-coffee variants go, because it was really the coffee portion of the show that really kind of made me super happy. Let's put it that way. In the other one, so get that sucker in frame. There you go. King of the double pour. Pretty good at that shit, I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyway, yeah, they look exactly the same. This one has a little bit bigger head because they poured it aggressive at the end. This one has a little bit more beer. What do you want? They look the same. I didn't expect them to look any different, but I do expect them to smell a little different. So, yeah. Let's see if we got a nose. I mean, it smells like a really well done, non-overly aggressive any point of the beer Imperial Stout, Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout, because I'm getting a roasted malt, rich Imperial Stout out of it, but you're talking about sub 11% here, so it's not like it's a huge, gigantic 15% Imperial Stout. And I'm getting the spirit, getting a nice soft bourbon in there, nice rich kind of cherry notes, nothing overly aggressive, nothing hot as far as the nose goes. You get a soft barrel char in there, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of vanilla, that little rubbed kind of coconutty kind of vibe going on. It smells really, really nice. Yeah, it smells pretty awesome. Vanilla and toasted walnuts. I mean, the vanilla really does jump out at you, but it's not heavy-handed. I appreciate that. And this happens a lot with vanilla beers, at least for me, in that the vanilla isn't huge over here, but it's big enough to where it's actually muted some of the things that I got in the beer over here. So, I mean, they're blends, so there's probably a bit of a difference going on between the two beers, but this is like very even across the board as far as impact, both from the beer, the barrel, and the spirit. Over here, the vanilla is the dominant thing, and then below that are all the other components, so that's where it kind of differs. Now, it's a vanilla stout. Most people want that to be the case, so I'm not knocking it for that, but I'm just saying I'm not getting even close to the same kind of representation of the ingredients that I got over here on this one. But you still get, the stout portion of the show, you still get a little bit of that bourbon, you still get a little bit of that barrel, but the vanilla is the dominant characteristic. Let's dive into the base. Cheers. It's delicious. It's giving me... It's sweet, sweeter than I thought it would be, but it's giving me all those components. Now, I would say it's a little bit more spirit leaning, not necessarily in heat, but in sweetness. As you're getting this rich, almost maraschino, like cherry juice out of this bourbon. And then once you add that kind of sweet part of the Imperial Stout, it kind of pushes that sweet portion of the show a little bit bigger. So it's not nearly as kind of toastier, roastier, bittering as I thought it was going to be based off the nose. And I think if you had that, it would be a little bit more balanced. The coffee must have brought that to the table on the other one. But it's quite nice. Tasty. That bourbon is the star of the show here. Without being hot. So that's fun. A little tinge in the back, but nothing too crazy. Followed by the beer in the barrel. The charriness of that barrel doesn't come off huge, but it's there. It's more of like a vanilla from a barrel as opposed to a vanilla added kind of thing over here. But it's quite nice. Let's dive into this little vanilla jammer. Expecting vanilla a lot here. Yeah, and that's the case. Toasted walnuts. Let's talk about toasted walnuts. Ooh. I got a nice little kind of bittering component coming through in this. Interesting. Kind of like that. I'm not getting that pop of bitterness that I'm getting over here. And it kind of levels this beer out a little bit more, so different conversation to be had with these two. And that's blending. You know what I mean? You're going to do blending. You're going to blend different things. What I'm assuming they did was that they picked certain specific barrels that they added beans to and then blended those. So those, you have a smaller subset of barrels that you can blend because this has no vanilla in it. So you could take the base stout, and what they did over here when they talk about a blend, either they blended a bunch of spirit barrels together to make the bourbon barrel aged beer, or what I'm guessing is they did that with a combination of fresh stout to kind of blend it to a level they want it to be. Well, you can't use any of the vanilla variant in that blend, so maybe that bittering from those barrels is more indicative of those barrels that were used over here as opposed to those. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, the vanilla started the show. I believe you're getting it copious amounts from the actual vanilla edition, but then you're getting a little subtle amount from the barrel itself. There is a bittering component that's bigger than what you're getting over here that adds a bit of balance, but it's still kind of like, I like this one over here because it's got enough vanilla to turn me on, because I'm not the most gaga when it comes to heavily dosed vanilla beers. But I must say over here, while that vanilla is meaningful in the start of the show, it's not over the top. I think I'm gonna cop out here and say I like both of these equally. There's that bittering over here, which really brings me kind of a crucial component I'm not getting over here, but with this being lighter on the vanilla, that turns me on a little bit more in that end of things. But it's nice. You know what I mean? On the nose, beautiful across the board. On the nose, vanilla leaning with a bit of beer. On the taste, definitely spirit leaning without being overly hot, followed by the beer and the actual barrel. Over here, you're getting that vanilla in spades. But the beer is definitely there, but there's this nice bittering pop that I think might be a combination of a roasted malt and the barrel kind of in conjunction. So yeah, I think I'm tied. What I do know, without any doubt, is that the coffee variant is my favorite of the bunch. It's not even close. I mean, is that a bit unfair? Maybe. Maybe I should have done a three-way side-by-side, but 3 750s to my head. Even if I cap these, cork these, and spread it over 3 days, it's still way too much beer for me. Yeah, that was the winner in the old shootout, but very nice stuff. And honestly, and I've said this before, and I said this in the other review, to watch, Southern Swells grow and their barrel program, even their hazies to their sours, has been a really fun journey. So, very cool stuff. There's only one thing left to do. Do a little bit of in-house blending, if you will, a little bit of cuvee action. Let's go about half of that. And see what we can do. Mystery beers clean the world, not just save the world. Anytime you have mystery beers, you're automatically left with just a little bit of cleaning utensil, which is always nice. What do they call it? Upcycling? So we'll see what's what. I think, knee-jerk, this is going to be the best of both of these. Yeah. See, that vanilla is not nearly as dominant, in the nose at least. It's there. It's a little bit more elevated than the other one, so it still probably puts it in a kind of lead position, but not nearly as aggressive. So I kind of like the way the nose is coming off. Let's dive in. Cheers. That's pretty effing delicious. And I'm going to tell you what. What's that thing they do in wrestling where people are like wrestling and like they're beating each other up, and then the one guy starts losing, he's almost about to lose, and then some dude comes running in from backstage with a chair. Cherries. But not the cherry from the bourbon. It's more of like the cherry from like a Russian Imperial Stout. It's way different than the cherry I was talking about before. I don't know why it kind of flipped the script on me, but it's that weird kind of Russian Imperial Stout cherry that I love so much. Is coming from backstage with the chair to kind of knock out the guy that's winning. That bittering that was over here came over here completely. It's like, okay, you're doing 50-50. It's going to be 50% less. No, it's 100% still there. So it adds that bittering component that I was missing over here. I wanted so much. The vanilla that was over here that was super dominant is still big, but it's acting more like vanilla from a barrel that I got over here. It's kind of almost propping that up and elevating that a little bit more. I couldn't tell you what walnuts are doing. Honestly, outside of like really aggressive nuts, like hazelnut and smaller ABV beers, I couldn't tell you if I tasted hazelnut or almonds. Oh, almonds every now and then, because if they toast them, and like these, like almonds can almost have like a tiramisu kind of thing going on. Anyway, I couldn't. If I said there was almonds in here, I'd be fucking lying. It just comes off nice because it comes off as a bit more balanced, a little bit more aggressive in a good way, but a bit more balanced, but aggressive version of this over here. And I kind of like it. So I think the Cuvée kind of wins this round. There you go. Anyway, so let's talk about these beers. Are these two of the better bourbon barrel aged beers I've had as of late? They're worthy of being in the conversation. That coffee version is like Mount Rushmore status. These are in the conversation. Putting them together kind of elevates it closer towards the top, but it's not like King Shit of Fuck Mountain level stuff. Let's put it that way. Value and availability, no idea about these. I'm assuming bourbon barrel aged boutique brewery, $20 a bottle. I'm guessing Carson let us know what's what and leave you with if you like what we like these beers. If you like bourbon barrel aged beers, you like vanilla, and you like good breweries doing good things. Because as far as I know, Southern Swells is a good brewery, both beer wise and people wise, and they're trying to do good things and do good beers, and that does not suck. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Southern Swells right now. We'll see you next time. Cheers.